Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
Matthias for Michigan
Right.
State, another player.
Make sure everything is working correctly.
Matthias for
That's
Michigan
right
State,
here.
another player.
Make sure everything is working correctly. That, I think we're good to go. I just want to double check. Make sure the audio works. I gotta wait for that ad to finish running. Dumb ads, man. Good to go. I just want to double check. Make sure the audio works. It says we're live. It says no issues in terms of the connection. And I got audio coming from there. I think we are good. Camera on. And let's go. All right, so a couple minutes early. It's a couple minutes earlier than I was going to go live initially. Normally I go live around 6, but with fireworks tonight that I'm going to go take the kids to see, so I wanted to get a stream in here a little bit earlier than we normally do, so that we can kind of do what we got to do what we normally do, and still get everything in. So give it a second here. Oh, so yeah, it's May 1st. Excuse me, I'm exhausted. I got iced coffee. This is like my third one of these of iced coffee today. So we are coming off of back-to-back World Series titles. We are, we've gotten better 4 years in a row. 75 wins to 90 wins to 93 wins to 104 wins a year ago. 2 straight World Series titles. We are 21-8 through April, and we're not in first place, believe it or not. 21-8 is good enough for 2 games out of first place, as the San Francisco Giants are a ridiculous 24-7 through the month of April. So we sit a couple of games behind them. We were actually 14-1 or something like that. And we won our first 3 games over Colorado. We won our first 7, then lost a game, then won 7 in a row. So yeah, we were 14-1 in our first 15 games. Went 7-7 in the final couple of weeks. But yeah, just a red hot start. We couldn't make any. We couldn't get any space on San Francisco, as they were exactly the same. They lost 2 of their first 4. And then won 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 out of 17. So they were 2-2 and then went 16-1. So we haven't been able to shake them. In fact, well, I guess to be fair, they haven't been able to shake us. They're 24-7 and we're 2 games behind. So pitching staff has been as advertised. Best starters ERA in the National League. Bullpen's 4th. Molina's really been the only one who struggled. 1-2 with a 5.90. I had this one game that really did it. I mean, otherwise he's been fine. I mean, well, maybe not. Good start here, and then a couple of bad starts, but I think ultimately he'll be okay. Marin, the rookie, has been okay. A couple of good starts, couple of not so good starts. Every one of our starters is averaging just a ridiculous, like if you look at their K per 9, you've got Felice at 10.7, you've got Marin at 14.5, Molina at 15.5, Pena at 11.2, and Shabazz at 12.2. So we are striking everybody out. This is just absolutely nuts what these strikeout numbers look like. Jansen, let's make him a reliever. Just absolutely crazy strikeout numbers. So things are looking good for us here. Offensively, it's been okay. We're 6th in runs scored, 1st in home runs, 2nd batting average, so 2nd in OPS. So I think ultimately we'll be fine. But got some people hitting, got some people not hitting. We lost Lujan for 5 weeks. He had gotten off to a really hot start. 7 home runs, 17 RBIs in the first 25. We lost him for 5 weeks. Tamar Johnson off to a hot start. Jason Brown a good start. Jandel Paulino with a ton of power. So it's going okay. The only one who's really not hitting that we were expecting is Buxton. His ratings have started to drop, so it's looking more and more likely like that we're going to opt out of that contract at the end of the season. But for now, it is what it is. So let's start May. Let's start simming through the month of May and see what happens. Hope everybody's having a wonderful 4th of July weekend so far. I just got back from a cookout. I was at my brother-in-law's house for a few hours. Had some burgers, had some dogs. Came home, relaxed for a bit. Now I'm going to stream before I take the kids to see some fireworks tonight. That's my plan. So we win 4-2. We had home runs from Arias and Paulino. Pena gets the win. Another 12 strikeout performance. Fitzstadler's been pretty bad too. I think I actually moved him out of the stopper role. Yeah, moved him in just to a regular setup role. Hopefully his numbers settled down a bit. 6-5 loss. We win 8-2. So we take 2 out of 4 against the Mets at home. Not ideal. You want to win, 3 out of 4 at home, ideally, when you're playing as, when you're as good as we potentially are, or should be, I guess. We get 2 hits from 5 different players: Johnson, Brown, Garibay, Paulino, Lechuga. It's the guy we picked up in the offseason from the Angels. Molina gets the win, striking out 9 and 5 2/3. We move on to take on the Padres, who are 17 and 18 on the season. We got Feliz going, who's been absolutely dynamic so far this year. 5-0, 1-7-2. And just as I say that, this pitches his worst game of the year. Josh, how are you? Happy 4th of July to you as well, my friend. You got any plans for today, tonight, tomorrow? I just got done saying I'm taking the kids to see. We always take them obviously on the 4th. There's like a spot that we found that doesn't have like nobody goes to, and we can see like our city's fireworks perfectly clearly from there, so it's not crowded. It doesn't take long to get in and out, so we go there tonight. We're actually going to go to the top of like a parking garage near our house where we can see fireworks in another city from the parking garage. So we're going to do that tonight. Tomorrow we're going to do some grilling. We're going to do some more fireworks, and that's our plan for the next couple of days. Well, what about you? 24. We are playing 667 baseball, and we're 4 games out of first place. Bullpen hasn't been particularly good. Whoa, what happened here? Savino went from a .84 ERA to a 6.23 ERA in 3 games. That's not good. Hopefully it's just a fluke. Oh, it was a doubleheader. Okay. Final game of the series. Oh, that's right. Canada Day was Friday. That is right. July 1st. Ugh, we lose 3 out of 4. Not playing well. Not liking this right now. Sunburned and hungover. Spent yesterday on the boat and today on the kayaks. That's how you do it, my man. That is how you do it for sure. 5 games out of first place now. Prepping for I'm off tomorrow, so thankfully I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I have the 4th of July off. So I'll be back at it on the 5th, unfortunately. But yeah, I wanted to start a little bit early because I'm taking the kids, like I said, to see the fireworks tonight. So wanted to, I'm already exhausted, but just sitting in the sun for 3 or 4 hours earlier today will do that. But I wanted to see how far into the season we could get here today. I figure it's 5 o'clock now. I figure I got 2.5 hours anyway. So we'll see where that takes us. But we win this game 2-1. Second game, American flag emoji. Yes, random task. We're all about the freedom. So we lose 3-0. And we're 6 games out of first place at 25 and 14. I I thought, I'm curious, so I'm going to take a look at our Pythagorean theorem. I wouldn't surprise me if we're underperforming our Pythag. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. We're like at 32 and 8. Are you friggin' kidding me? Standings expanded. No, we are right where we should be. 26 and 14. American flag emoji for Mondays off. Yeah, I hate it when holidays fall on the weekend because I don't get that extra day off. So it's nice that that I get that day tomorrow. So I fully plan on taking advantage of it and doing a whole hell of a lot of nothing. Won't do anything during the morning. Yeah, we are up and down. I'm not liking this very much. Not doing anything until afternoon. Going to do some grilling for the family, but morning is going to be me time. I'm going to sleep late, and I'm going to do nothing during the day. So we win here. Looks like there are a lot of good teams in the National League. Phil's 26 and 18. We're a game better than them. Bang out 18 hits. Buxton has 4 hits. Tamar Johnson 4 hits. Shabazz gets the win. I thought you said you had plans tonight, Random Task. You weren't going to be here tonight. Did I miss something? Buxton, another good game, so the bat's starting to come around for him. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I get that, too. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I get that, too. I was off last Monday as well. Or last year on Monday as well. Plans changed. Okay, well, cool. So we'll see how far we can get. I figure, like I said, I got to bail probably 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm not sure what time. The fireworks, they all say they start at dusk. So whatever that means. We're going to sit on top of a parking garage in Wheaton someplace and watch the fireworks. My wife's physical therapist told her that nobody ever goes there. So really, you can't have New Year's Day off if it's a Saturday or. Really, that's interesting. Yeah, on my job, the one thing I really like about my job is that because it's based in retail, like things like I've been working retail my entire life, but when I stopped being like a retail manager, the job I have now, I can't work when the stores are busy. So like Black Friday weekend, that's like we aren't allowed to work Thursday through Sunday. So it's different for me getting those days off. I used to have to work 16, 17-hour days on Black Friday, but now I sleep in and I do nothing. We lose 5-2. We're still hanging around that 4 to 6 game out of first place thing. But we're starting to win here. That's 4-6 out of 8. Is that what I'm seeing? Right? Is that what I'm seeing there? Cortax, thank you for the follow, sir. Appreciate it. For those of you who are new to the stream, my name is Aaron. I have been doing this for GM Games now for, I don't know, a couple of years, I think. Well, yeah, it's coming up on 2 years now. I have my own YouTube channel where I kind of do more of the same. I'll just hawk my wares here really quickly and then get on with it. There's my YouTube channel, so if you want to check out the stuff that I do over there, I'm actually going to be starting a new Let's Play on Monday, tomorrow. Yeah, video's already loaded. I just got to get it uploaded. And then that is my Discord. It's a very small Discord right now, about 17, 18 people, but yeah, so that's kind of what I got going on. And we are in what year are we in? We are in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're in our 10th season with the Arizona Diamondbacks. First 3 years were a bit rough, made the playoffs, then had to step back. Last 3 years made the postseason, won the World Series each of the last 2 years. And we are trying for a three-peat, but we are 5.5 games behind the 35-10 San Francisco Giants. Yeah, so we're going to try to get up through the trade deadline. We'll see what happens. Lose Gale and okay. All right, well, that's not good. Because I don't know. I guess we can just call up Ibarra and stick him in the lineup. That's not ideal. I think this is. I mean, we're playing good baseball. 30-17 is nothing to sneeze at. But am I calling a game in Manatee? I hope so. It all depends on whether or not my passport shows up in time. There are some questions whether I'm going to get it in time. If I get it, I'm going to be driving up to Winnipeg on Monday the 25th. Yeah, we leave after the Sunday 24th game and then drive up to Winnipeg on the 25th. So maybe. If not, if my passport doesn't show up in time, I'm not going to go to Winnipeg. I'm going to go to Sioux City, Iowa instead and meet the team in Iowa a couple of days later. So we will see. I don't know. Yeah, like Fitzstadler's been bad. And this is shocking. Shocking considering what he's given us over. I mean, a 491 BABIP obviously can't maintain. So you have to think he's going to sort things out. But yeah, our rookies, Shabazz and Molina, haven't been particularly good. So, I mean, we're fine. I mean, I don't think, I think ultimately the playoffs aren't going to be an issue or anything like that. But I don't want to fall too far behind the Giants. I'd like to win the division. I got my initial passport 16 years ago. We went on an Alaskan cruise, and we went obviously up into Canada, so I needed my passport for that. And when I went to the post office at the beginning of June, the lady told me that if I had come in like a month sooner, I would have been able to just renew it, but it expired. So I missed it by like a month. So I had to put in a whole new request. I paid for the expedited, 5 to 7 week shipping, but what she didn't tell me is that it's 5 to 7 weeks from the time the office gets it, not from the time I put in the application. So they didn't receive my application until June 15th. So I don't know if I'm going to get it in time. We will see though. Spent some time working in the Winnipeg University. Now you're on the other end of the country in New Brunswick. Yeah, you are. That is the other end of the country for sure. So we get the win, 6-2. Molina, 9 Ks and 5 1/3. The game against Milwaukee. So yeah, I hope to get it. I hope to get up there. I want to experience. Paulino's out for 2 weeks. Come on. 2 weeks is such a bad injury because our injury list is 19 days. I think we gotta. So who do we call up? None of these guys. I think, where is that guy that was injured? He's on the injury list, but he's not actually hurt. Romo. I think we call him up. He was the guy we picked up, but he's not eligible to come off the DL. Your passport is valid for another 6 or so months after expiration. I think the actual date. Yeah, I don't know. She told me that if I had come in like a month earlier, it would have been a renewal, not a new request. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, the thing that I'm most bummed out about is that I don't want to drive to Sioux City, Iowa. It's like an 8-hour drive. I'd rather be on the bus where I don't have to do anything. Like, they're just going to drive me. So, who do we call? I guess we call up Miles Straw. He's not going to start, but he gives us some defense. All right, so what do? We lose our big power bat. I guess we go small ball for a bit. We'll bring Morales in as the left fielder. Move Buxton up. We're down a third of our starting lineup, which is obviously not a good thing. Scales can play. No, that's not what I meant to do. Scales can play against lefties. Yeah, we're missing a third of our starting lineup. So if the offense struggles, we know why. It may have been, yeah. I used it. We went to Alaska for our first wedding anniversary. Yeah, so that would have been 2007 was our first wedding anniversary. July of 2007. That would have been 15 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. I can stop at Fong's Pizza and get to. I don't want crab rangoon pizza. That doesn't sound good at all. And when you go to Sioux City, I don't believe you drive through Des Moines. I'd have to double check, but I believe you actually would probably go through like southern Minnesota. It's probably quicker. All right, so what are we doing? We're 3.5 games out. So the Giants, we've kind of made up a little bit of ground here. Losing Paulino hurts. Yeah, Paulino, Lujan, Arias. It'd be nice to get those guys back in a few weeks. Then get their I've never heard of it. I will look it up and see if it's on the way. If it's on the way, maybe I'll stop and get it. A couple of years ago when I was traveling for the team, I had to make those drives by myself. I went to Sioux Falls, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Drove up to Fargo, North Dakota. Drove to St. Paul. Fargo drive was about 9 hours. Sioux Falls was about 8, and then St. Paul's like 5. That one's easy. So we win again, this time in walk-off fashion. So we're 33-17. 2.5 outs. They lost again. Pena 12 Ks. Savino blows another save. It is, yeah. Sioux City's on the South Dakota border. It's, border-ish. It's about an hour from, maybe about an hour and a half from Sioux Falls. It's about an hour north of, about an hour and a half north of Omaha. Yeah, just outside of Vermilion and Yankton, yeah. That's part of the market that I cover for work, so I know that area pretty well as well. So, yeah, like I said, I believe, because I know to get out to Sioux Falls, you take, what route is it that takes you through La Crosse? Is that 80? Yeah, because 90 takes you up into Minneapolis. So I think it's 80 that you just take straight through into South Dakota. So, all right, another game, home game, Washington. We've won 3 in a row, and we lose that one. Is that another Savino blown game? That was a Stadler. ERA of 7 for Fitz. What the hell is going on with him? All right, let's remove him from high leverage, I guess. I don't know what to... I mean, our 2 worst relievers have been Savino and Stadler. Jansen's hurt. He's out for 2 weeks. All right, let's put him on the injured list. Let's call up another reliever. Who do we call up? Brown. Yeah, I don't really know what the smart thing is to do here, because these are clearly the 2 best relievers in our bullpen. I have to think that they're just going to figure it out. I mean, it doesn't make any sense otherwise. 80 would go through to 1. I don't have the map in front of me, but yeah, that makes sense. So maybe it is 90 then. Yeah, because 94 takes you northwest up into Minneapolis. That's 94, so it must be 90 that takes you through La Crosse. That must be what I'm thinking. All right, we need our bullpen to not suck. If our bullpen wasn't bad, we would be pretty dynamic. Our bullpen's been bad. This is an interesting game. All the runs scored in the first. Buxton, 2-run single. Morales hitting .467 in 45 at bats. Shabazz goes 6. Brown gets the save. Game 3 against the Nats. Another loss. Come on. Lujan's hurt again. I need to get him back. See, I'd rather not make that drive. If I have to make the drive, I will, but I would rather not. I would rather be on the bus with the team and have them drive me up to Winnipeg. It's like 18 hours up to Winnipeg, but I'll be on a bus, so I can just sleep and work and do whatever I got to do. So that's best case scenario. We'll sort of see how it works. Feliz 7-1 on the year. We're 3.5 games out, 35-19. We're still without 3 of our starters So it's going to be really almost the end of June before we are complete again. We get Paulino back in a week or two. Yeah, our offense has been, it's been fine. Fifth in run scored is not terrible, but we're usually in the top three. Our starters have been, like I said, as advertised. Our bullpen has been meh, and defensively we've been pretty good. So really, if our defense, or if our bullpen can kind of sort their, and really specifically our two best relievers, Savino and Stadler. You went to St. John on a cruise. That's east though, right? That's the East Coast, St. John and Halifax. That's the eastern coast of Canada, right? I went the other way. I went up to like Ketchikan, Alaska, and then we came back down into like Vancouver and that sort of thing, which was awesome. I loved it. We left out of Seattle. Would absolutely recommend anybody who wants to experience a vacation that isn't sitting on a beach someplace. An Alaskan cruise is absolutely phenomenal. It was weird sitting on my balcony, with a beer at 1 o'clock in the morning, and the sun hadn't set yet. It was the middle of July, so the sun was setting really, really late. It was really strange, but pretty cool. That's a bad loss. With our start, I thought we were going to run away with this. We were 14-1. So we are, 21-20 in our last 41 games. So we're a 500 team in our last 40 games. Not ideal. Not ideal. We win there. We lose Lechuga. The injuries are absolutely crippling us right now. Did I not hire a bench coach? Okay, well, that was dumb. Let's hire a bench coach. I don't know how I missed that. I think maybe I offered a bench coach and then missed the... then somebody offered him a higher contract or something. All right, so we need somebody who works well with personable. Jason Lane. Sure. What was I looking at? Oh, our scout, or our trainer, rather. Where am I going? Ron Porterfield. He's the definition of okay, right? Decent and good at everything. Anybody out there that's any better? Like, this guy's really good at prevention and terrible at rehab. Yeah, there's nothing here that's really better. Just bad luck. Just bad luck. You're only there for a few hours, but it was fun. There are a lot of places like that. Really good and really fun in short spurts. That's about it. All right, who do we want to call up now? Since we're like deep into our minor leagues when it comes to call-ups. Maybe they're all. We got to put them all on the Rule 5 or on the 40-man, and then they're all going to refuse options when we send them down, or refuse the assignment when we send them down. We're going to have to cut them, and it's just sort of the way it is. But all right, so Scales will come in and play right field, and then Morales will come in and play right field here. All right. No, we'll keep playing. Oh, we got San Francisco now. That's the only reason your team trainers... Yeah, right. That's what I do with my trainer and my scout every single season is I may sign them to long-term deals, but the only reason they still have a job is because there's not somebody better. If I can find somebody better, I'll hire them every single time. Wait, so there's a St. John and then a... Are they close to each other? That seems really like poor planning. All right, so let's see how this series goes against San Francisco to end the month. 7-4 loss. We're 5.5 out. And how do we finish the month? St. John's, okay. period at Johns is in Newfoundland. And where's the other one? We win 2-1. All right, so we finish May 37-22, 16-14. We finish over 500. I mean, still not great, but we are on. So we 627 ball. So we're actually on a pace for a worse record than last season. That's a little disappointing. How far away are Newfoundland? They're close, right? Close enough, right? Like they're both on the east coast. Maybe not right on the coast, but eastern portion. We win this one 2-1. Jordan Lawler with his 9th home run. Yeah, offensively we're struggling at this point, which is not a surprise given the number of injuries we've suffered. We're without Paulino, Lujan, and Arias. At least we get Paulino back in 5 days, but the other two are still out for a few weeks. We don't have Lechuga for the next 6 weeks. You can see our bottom three are just not hitting. Yeah, it's not been good. We're down to 7th in runs scored, pretty close on a map. You have to take either a $500 ferry ride or a plane to get there. It's like Hawaii. You know, the islands are all close to each other, but to get there you need to hop on a chopper and get there. Starters ERA is 2nd. So our pitching staff, our starters have been fine. I mean, Molina hasn't been particularly great. 81 ERA plus. BABIP's a little light. I mean, we knew he was going to walk a lot of batters. It's sort of the thing with him, but 11 home runs in 61 innings isn't good. So, yeah, I mean, we've been okay. Wow, DeLucas is down to 3 stars. I guess the issue is I don't really know. Like, I don't want to make any deals right now because all of our upgrades are going to be internal, right? When we get Paulino, Lujan, and Arias back, I mean, that's 3 of our starters. Those are our offensive upgrades kind of as we go into the next month or so. So I don't want to make any deals just yet. But yeah, it's been weird. I expect a 14-1 start. So that's 25-21 since then. Off the foul pole. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. St. John's is on an island. It's not easy to get to from what I understand. Well, that whole like east coast of Canada is all a bunch of like tiny islands, right? Isn't that like what it all is? Merton, your team manager has gone after the season. You're like your general manager or the manager itself. Like I don't have a manager because that's me. I'm the manager and GM, so I don't have an actual manager. But is that what you're talking about? All right, we got to look at anything of note happen here over the last week or so. Carlos Correa, former Arizona Diamondback great Carlos Correa with his 2000th hit. Oh, you just play as GM? That would make me nuts. I see people play as just GM and their manager makes, just completely ass backwards decisions. It would drive me crazy. I have to have the ability to override it in real time. All right, so we signed Jason Lane. Player development, Marin gets better. Lawler gets better. Amarillo, movement drops. Bummer's been quite good this year. I'm glad we picked him up. McCray, we drafted, was it last year? Yeah, 2030 in the 6th round. He got a little better. Ruiz was one of our top picks last season. His ratings dropped, but he's still 3.5 stars. Flores, we picked in the 2nd round back in 2029. Still stuck in rookie ball. Who was our top pick last year? I don't remember. This last week has been an absolute cluster. My mind is completely shot. Who is this? Omar Jones was our top pick last season. Okay. 3 stars, good movement. It looks like he could be okay. PEI in Newfoundland. Nova Scotia is connected to New Brunswick by a tiny land bridge. There's an 11-kilometer long bridge to Prince Edward Island. Newfoundland is way off on its own. You used to just GM, but since playing online, you hop in as manager for lineups. I don't know. I feel like, I don't want to. I get why people do it. Like, if I'm going to manage, part of me says I should, actually manage and go in and do the game, play the games. But I don't have the patience for that anymore. So I want to be able to set the lineups the way I want. I want to be able to set the pitching staffs the way I want. I know you can go in and you can force, lineups and things like that. But if I'm going to do that, then I may as well just play as manager, right? As the GM, I know you can go in and you can force, somebody to bat first, or you can force a position, or you can force somebody to be a starting pitcher or reliever or whatever you want. But if I'm going to do that, then I may as well just play as the manager mode. So that's kind of my thought process. Tommy White, your batter of the month in the AL. Tatis over in the National League. Pitcher of the month, Spencer Strider. Pablo Lopez still going strong at 35. Pitcher of the month in the National League. Sal Jimenez, your AL Rookie of the Month, and Dave Velasquez in the National League. So 37-22. We were 21-8 at the end of April. May, we basically a 500 team. We have 6 games against Colorado, 4 against the Dodgers. It looks like it for divisional games this month. So let's see how the first game of June goes. See if we can get within 3.5. We do. We win 9-1. I only keep coaches on in offline mode because I like storylines. I keep coaches on because I feel like they make a difference. Like I feel like having the right personalities make a difference. I feel like having bench coaches in specific roles make a difference. So I like having them on. I don't like having them on in online mode, though, for reasons you're aware of. I don't like the poaching. I don't know. In online leagues, I just don't like it. But in offline leagues, I don't mind. Do I have a home run call? I don't. It's something I've thought about. But yeah, I haven't. I don't even know if I would ever come up with one, to be honest with you. One of the guys I call games with has one, and he uses it. But yeah, I don't know if I ever would. I kind of like the uniqueness of each call, and the how every home run is different and has a different level of importance. So to me, each call should be unique in that respect. So yeah, I might at some point down the road, but right now I don't. All right, you don't play offline. You only started again to do an expansion franchise. In online, there's so few coaches. You end up paying your coaches the $500K minimum. Honestly, I'm not interested in battling other real life people for coaches. Like, no desire to do that at all. So I just sign somebody that I can sign. Yeah, I got an ad too. Well, just deal with it. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not even my stream. I'm just a guest here. Lawler hits his 10th home run, has 3 hits. Buxton, Melendez each with a couple of hits. Pena pitches really well, and we take 2 out of 3 from the Giants. Cool. It's the 4th ad break you've had. I've had 2, I think. And that's only because I'm using it on my work PC. On my personal PC, I just use ad blocker, and then I never get any ads. But so yeah, Josh, that's my answer to that. I don't see anything wrong with it. Like I said, the guy that I do games with, he has a home run call, and people like it. I would rather the call be more in the moment. Like, I don't want to be thinking about the home run call while I'm, I don't want to think about making sure I have to get my call in while I'm calling it. I would rather just call it kind of organically, I guess, if that makes sense. 2 games at home against Texas. Another win. So that's 3 straight. Shabazz picks up the win. Buxton up to 260. That offense is coming along. I'm still going to decline the option. It's $20 million. Tamar Johnson's just having a ridiculous season. 373 batting average for our leadoff hitter right now. Let's see if they can come down. The setting is basically like on or off. Oh, hey, Chris. Chris hops in to tell us he's going to take a look at things. Appreciate that. A lot of home run calls are pretty cheesy unless you're Bobby. The issue, yeah, I mean, some of them I think are fun. Like, I don't know if, and this is a different sport, but like the Pittsburgh Penguins play-by-play guy always says something really bizarre when the Penguins score, and I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty funny. Baseball home run calls, I don't really have a problem with it because, people expect it. Once you start doing it, it sort of becomes part of the broadcast, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I just choose not to do it. Grunion1, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Really, you had 4 30-second ads, Random Task? I had 1 30-second, and that was it. Maybe they just think you're really, really gullible and will buy things. So another win, 8-4. We're 4 games out of first place. Johnson, Brown, Garibay, Buxton, Morales all with a couple of hits. Shabazz with 11 Ks and 5. Another win, 9-3. And now we're down another outfielder as Bob Scales is suspended for 3 days. Jason Brown, 4 for 5. On pace for another 100. He's just a bat, right? He'll never play on the infield anywhere, but he's got a fantastic bat. Melendez has 3 hits. Morales keeping us afloat here while we wait for Paulino to come back. Garibay hits his 11th. Marin, 5-2 now. And I'm really, really excited about Ettore Marin. We signed him to a 6-year, basically $130 million contract. He was an international guy. Have absolutely stacked our starting pitching here for the next couple of seasons. Feliz is 4 stars. Marin is 5. Molina's 4.5. Pena's 4 and Shabazz is 5. Feliz and Pena, both the veterans, they're both signed relatively long term. My guess is that if Feliz continues to pitch like this, he opts out after next season, but that is a future Aaron problem, not a current Aaron problem, so I'm not going to worry about that. Look who's starting for the Twins. Bin Wad, the former Arizona Diamondback, not having a good season this year. 1-5 with a 7.93 ERA. We get Paulino back tomorrow. That's nice. Have I been on 2080 ratings? Yeah. I got hooked. I don't know who hooked me on it. I think it may have been I don't know, Alex, maybe, from our online leagues. I think I was having a conversation with him about it, and I just said, all right, I'm just going to switch to 2080 for everything. And now I do that with all of my leagues, all my offline and all my online stuff. But yeah, this one's been 2080 the whole time. Paulino is back tomorrow. Let's play this game and get him back in the lineup. Another victory. 4-2. Buxton, couple of hits. Tamar Johnson. Jesse Franklin, the 5th. We call him up. He hits a home run. Feliz is 9-1. I think he is now. Paulino's ready to come back. So Franklin, we're going to try to send him down. He won't. And then we will have to waive him, which is a little disappointing, but that's okay. Jandel back in the lineup quickly here. In left, Morales in right. Let's move everybody down. Paulino in for Morales here. Left field here, right field here. Move everybody down. Make sure we have. I don't want Rincon starting every second game at third base at all. Good glove, but I need Lawler's bat in the lineup. You can see Rincon, very good defensive third baseman, but can't hit. Lawler is fine at third as well. So, all right, so we're 41-22. We're starting to gain some ground on San Francisco. We're up to 2 games behind the Giants now. And our first loss of the month, back down to 3 games. We win that one 8-7 in extras. Ibarra, couple of RBIs. Yeah, he can't hit. He cannot hit. Lawler, 2 hits and an RBI. Morales, 2 hits and an RBI. Tamar Johnson up to 380. Molina strikes out 15 batters in 5 2/3 innings, and we can't get the win. Pitching staff. like our 3 most used pitchers are like our worst. So that's not ideal. I think Brown goes back down for the time being. And we can call Jansen back up. Yeah, I mean, I may end up trying to trade Stadler if he continues to put up an ERA of 6. Like, I don't want him on my team. Even though we've signed him now 3 straight off seasons, I don't want him on my team if he's going to put up an ERA of 6. Ah, 3.5 games out. Back-to-back losses. So we win 4 straight and then lose 3 out of 4. Bounce back there. Johnson up to 382 now. 2 hits, 4 RBIs for him. Marin gives up 5. Bullpen does an okay job. Stadler and Savino finally get their act together. Second game in Miami. Come on. I don't understand how we are struggling like we are with the pitching staff. Okay, we'll go down to the minors. The pitching staff that we have, I mean, I guess technically they're young, so it's not that shocking that they're inconsistent. Buxton 3 for 4. Home run. Molina goes 6 1/3. Savino gives up 3 hits, but also strikes out the side. Yeah, starters ERA is 2nd. Bullpen is 7th. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. Although it looks like, I mean, that's, granted, you got a couple of 1/3 inning outings there, but the ERA is starting to drop a bit for Stadler. Yeah, so Savino got down to 3.96, then he blew a save, and then gave up 3. Yeah, he hasn't been good either. Crime in the Woods, thank you for the follow. Thanks for hanging out tonight. All right, so what do we want to do? It's the 14th of June. Any interesting notes? Doesn't appear to be. Juan Locke hits 3 home runs in AAA for us. Nico Horner 5 for 5 for the White Sox. Jonathan Lopez strikes out 19 Atlanta Braves. Look at this guy. 354 strikeouts 2 years ago. And he's still ARB eligible, his ARB number. That's a ridiculously stupid number for what this guy's giving you. That's crazy. 354 strikeouts. Oh, excuse me. BABIP to death? I don't know. We'll take a look. I don't think so. I mean, a couple people. I mean, the Stadler and Savino specifically, but other than that, no. Other than that, our BABIPs are, in some cases, they're actually low. But yeah, Stadler and Savino are being BABIP to death. But at some point, you look at their FIPS. I mean, their FIPS are both sitting around 3, so it tells you that they're, in theory, pitching better than what their ERAs indicate. But at some point, this is what they are. When the numbers don't improve, you can only blame BABIP and defense and all that sort of thing for so long before you say maybe that's just not their year. Well, Stadler, see again, another inning and a third, gives up another run. So at some points, this is what Stadler has become. All right, so we get Lujan back. He refuses to be demoted. Well, we'll just DFA you then. Get Lujan back in the lineup. Hopefully it helps the offense enough that we are able to, overcome some of the issues we're having with our pitching staff. We're 5 games out of first place. This is bugging me. After a 14-1 start, so again, 14-1, so we are now 30-27. Right, you say BABIP to death. I mean, at some point we are what we are, and through 57 games, we're a 500 team. So, do I actually think we're a 500 team? No, but we're playing like one over the last 50-plus games, so who really knows? Rincon 3 for 5. Melendez homers. Marin gets hit hard. Savino pitches 2 shutout innings to get the save. (10-3) wins, so that's a couple of wins in a row here. Brown for the big game. Paulino 3 hits. On pace for 123 runs knocked in. Lujan hits a home run, so it's nice to see him back. Yeah, so I mean, it's the flip side is that the pitchers that aren't Savino and Stadler are pitching pretty well. I mean, some of them obviously short innings, but Bummer's been pretty good. Gunnar Meyer's been really good. Jaramillo's been really good. So we've been getting some good performances from some other people. It just hasn't been from the 2 guys we lean on the most. How are the Dodgers now? Because they've been really bad for a couple of years. And they're still under 500. Yeah, I mean, we have the second best record in baseball, and we're in second place, 5 games out of first place. It's just the Giants are that good. So, and we can still catch them, but good. We get Arias back now, so we can send Ibarra back down to AAA, get Arias back in the lineup. So we are whole again offensively, which is nice. Rincon, when the starter gets tired. No, not Lawler. Rincon. Don't want him starting every second game. Same thing here. I don't want him starting every third game. So we win 8-4. Lawler 3 for 3 with 3 runs knocked in. Lujan 2 for 5. DeMar Johnson up to 383. Lujan with 2 triples. So he's had a nice start to his season, obviously minus the injury. Molina 5 1/3, strikes out 10. Game 2 against the Dodgers. That's 4 in a row. I mean, that's the best baseball we've played in a while. Paulino with a grand slam. Paulino with a grand slam. Garibay hits his 14th. Shabazz gets the win. Jansen gives up a run, but everybody else does their job. Fifth straight win. We win this one 18-5. The offense comes to play. Look at those numbers. Jordan Lawler 3 for 5, 6 RBIs. Paulino 4 for 4. Buxton 3 for 6 with 4 knocked in. Arias and Melendez each with 3 hits. Rincon 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Melendez, Lawler, and Buxton a homer. And Feliz gets knocked out, and he's hurt. Uh-oh. It's knocked out in the first inning. The bullpen comes in, does what they're supposed to do. That's not good. Hopefully he's not out that long. That is scary. We'll keep our fingers crossed and hope it's nothing serious. So we look for the sweep of the Dodgers and That's what it said. That's what it said. It said 13 months for our ace. Okay. So what is the next step? I think we call Brown up. And do we go Hammer? No, we don't go Hamarillo. I think Miles Jansen becomes our next starter. Could have been 17 months like it was with Brandon Woodruff in my A's save. We lost him for 17 months. All right, well, we're 50 and 28. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that we invested in Marin, right? I mean, we still have 4 elite starters, and then our number 5 is now Miles Jansen. The problem is we can't really trade. We don't have any money. I mean, we could, given that he hasn't been good. I mean, look at that. He's still striking out 14.6 per 9. His walks are way up, which is bizarre. His walks are up over 100% from what he's done in the past. That BABIP is still unsustainably high. So I can't bring myself to trade him yet. But there may be... Savino doesn't want a lot of money, I think. Yeah, he only wants 1.6. We can't re-sign him because we don't have any money for extensions. Right. We don't have any money right now to kind of screw around with... once we get Buxton off the books and Stadler off the books, we can re-sign Savino. But just for shits and giggles... Really? And there are names there. I mean, he's not bad. But I don't want to retain 80% of the contract. Yeah, so would I. But nobody wants to give me an elite starting pitcher. Or a starting pitcher for Fitz Stadler without... I mean, we could do something like this. Frias, 4 good pitches, good stamina, high loyalty, work ethic. He's still cheap. Gives us a 5th starter. I feel like I'm rushing to make this move, given, like, given where the rest of our team is right now. I feel like we're rushing to make that trade when it doesn't really need to be made because Miles Jansen is, I mean, he's fine as our 5th starter. And that trade will be there in a month. If I turned on commissioner mode with creative, you're right. You are absolutely... Well, no, that's not true because you guys are here. So if somebody's watching this after the fact, I could do some creative editing and nobody would know. But those of you who are here watching this live would know. So we're going to power through. Just a bummer that it's Feliz. I mean, he was our guy. Win here in 14 innings. Arias 3 hits, Lawler a couple of hits, Paulino with a home run, Lujan with a home run, Savino blows another save. There we go, Stadler an inning and 2/3, striking out 3. Snitches get stitches, right? Is that what they say? So we've won 7 in a row. Make it 8. That's the best run we've had since our 14-1 start. Does anybody want Miles Straw? Hator Tokar. That's an interesting name. No snitches on the Twitches. I like it. Meh. I mean, I don't want to make a deal just to make a deal. I don't really care that much about Miles Straw. I just wanted to see if I could get anything for him before I waive him. All right, so we walk it off again. That's 8 in a row. Paulino, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. This is his 19th home run of the season. Molina goes 6. Bullpen does a nice job again. Gunnar Meyer's been really good. I mean, he's somebody we could make a starter as well, but he's been super valuable out of the pen that I don't really want to take him out of that role. I'd rather stick with what we have and go with Miles Jansen as our number 5. Oh, look at that. We're within half a game of first place. He likes the fact that we improved our stolen bases. I don't really care about that. He's been delighted with our progress. Of course he has. We want to re-sign everybody. I think our scout is really good. We're going to keep retaining him. Let's just bring everybody back. And I do have the game set so that my assistant GM deals with the minor league coaching staff, I can't be bothered to micromanage that level, so I let the assistant GM do that. We have the number 10 prospect in baseball, Jesus Zamora. He's in Double-A right now, absolutely raking. He's still a couple of years away, though. He will likely be. I talk about a replacement for Tamar Johnson, but Tamar is. He's hitting 380, so he doesn't really need a replacement. He signed for another 3 years after this one. Maybe he's trade bait. I don't know, but we have won 8 straight games. We look for the sweep of the Rockies. We get it, a 4-0 win. 2 more hits, 2 more RBIs for Tamar Johnson. Brown has 3 hits. Shabazz, 14 strikeouts in 7 innings. Stadler and Savino pitched the final 2. If these two are really the key. If these two are going strong, I think our team is really unbeatable. That's 9 in a row. Make it 10 straight victories. Yeah, it's probably something that I should do in these types of streams. Like in my offline games, I don't care. But for these, I think it might make sense to do it in fact, you know what? I think in my online stuff where, taking your time is not necessarily a bad thing. I think we can kind of do that on our own. So, all right, you convinced me. I'm going to start doing it on my own at the end of this season. All right, so we win our 10th straight, 5-3 over the Cardinals. Garibay 2 for 2 with a home run. Lawler and Brown each homer. Miles Jansen, throw him in the starting rotation, and he goes 7 1/3 innings, striking out 8. So that works well. That's 10 wins in a row, and we are half a game out of first place. Game 2 against the Cardinals. 11 games in a row. Julio Lujan hits his 10th home run of the year. Look at all these home runs. We have 6 guys between 10 and 19 right now. Lujan and Melendez each go yard. Marin 6 1/3. Yeah, Gunnar Meyer's been absolutely lights out. Gorgo 2005, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know how you could do it, honestly, because the game engine is designed to have every playthrough be different. I don't know how you could set it up in such a way where you could test the outcome. I guess maybe you could do something like you could go in and you could set every team to the same ratings, 20s across the board or 80s across the board or whatever you want to choose for every pitcher and every player, and have the only difference be the coaching staff in the majors and the minors, and see if that makes a difference. So, yeah, that's the only thing that would be the only way that I think it could work. I'm not even sure if that would work though, given how the engine of Out of the Park Baseball works. Is that a thing people do, really? I don't have anywhere near the patience to do that sort of editing. Gorgo, glad to see us in the affiliate ranks. Yeah, they Chris was able to get the drops added whenever it was last year. Whenever they added the drops to Steam, Chris was able to get GM games set up on that, and I was fortunate enough to be the guy to kind of play the game while those drops are happening. So, welcome to the stream, and thank you. Yeah, like I said, Josh, I don't know even, again, I think the only way to do it would be to set everybody's ratings equal and have the only difference, because you could probably test it with scouting, or you could test it with, trainers. But again, if you have 10 players all with the same ratings, all with the same injury ratings, the game could give you 10 different results each time, just because of how the game works. So, I don't know. But yeah, so I want to thank you guys for joining us today. I've got another hour or two anyway. Try to get through the end of July like we normally do. Those of you who are in here for the first time, my name is Aaron. I am one of GM Games, I guess he calls them GMs. I've been doing Out of the Park Baseball for Chris on the GM Games channel now for a couple of seasons. I do have my own YouTube channel, which has more of the same content. I've just finished up an Oakland A's playthrough over there that ran into a financial bug, so I had to put an end to that. Playthrough. I got a new one recorded and ready to go to start tomorrow. That's my Discord if you want to come and say hi over there. I think you can download 2 teams where all the players are 1 rating, and then try like setting the infield range to max or 0 and have them play shortstop. Chris as in Jody? No, Chris as in the guy who runs GM Games. Different Chris, not OOTP Chris. This is the GM Games owner Chris. Yo Mama Goofy, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. H Jarwin, thank you for the follow, I appreciate you as well. Yeah, rip the A's save. It's a bummer. Here, I'll show you real quick. I know this is technically GM Games, but since I'm running it, we're gonna do what I want. So we'll pull this up real quick and I'll show you. So at the end of last season, somebody told me that if you disable the draft budgets it fixed the glitch, if you will. And we played through the season and the finances looked fine. Got to the end of the season and I just simmed up ahead to free agency to see if it would still be fine. I got to free agency and you'll see here in a second. You are welcome, Gorgo. No problem, man. Yeah. Different Chris. Both good people. Both good Chris's, but different Chris's. Any Draft Day Sports football incoming? I don't know. I mean, I could just tell Chris that I wanted to do a Draft Day Sports football playthrough, and he would let me. So, yeah, if I go to just trading block and initiate trade, you can just see, like, $1 million, 500,000, 500,000, 300,000, negative 24 million, negative. Yeah, just nobody has any money. So whatever bug was there is still there now, and this is with scouting budgets off. So unfortunately, the save is toast. But I've got my Nat save right here. It's all ready to go. I'm going to fire that up tomorrow, so be on the lookout for episode 1 of that. But yeah, Goofy, I don't know. I could. I tend to enjoy the games more when that sport is in season, if that makes sense. I tend to like, it's a good point. Yeah, that is a great point, Random Task. You can go onto my YouTube channel and you can watch me make the Jets terrible in Draft Day Sports Pro Football. I love the Wolverine guys. I love their games. Their basketball games are, I think, they're more polished, but I enjoy them both. I'm looking forward to their newest version of football when that comes out, because it's getting better year over year for sure. All right, there is our other Chris. There's the Chris I was talking about. Cards was doing some pro football, but you moved. Right, yeah, like if I came to Chris and I said, hey, in the fall, I said, hey, I wanna go down to, just doing my out of the park stuff on Wednesdays, which is when I normally release a pre-recorded video, and on Sunday I want to do a live stream of Draft Day Sports. Chris would be fine with that. So it's entirely possible. But yeah, right now I'm still sort of hooked on Out of the Park 23. So this is where the majority of my time is. So. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I like the Wolverine games. I played the basketball game a lot. College basketball, I don't play quite as much, but I like both the basketball games. And I think the football games are on their way. They're not quite there yet, but they're on their way. Another win. We lose Pena now for 2 weeks. My nose is itchy. Sorry. Brown 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. Pena goes 7 1/3. He gets hurt for a couple of weeks. So we're now without our 2 veteran starters in the rotation. I was about to call up Toro, but he's hurt, so that's not an option. Who is this guy? We got him from the Dodgers. Oh, we traded him for Southacene, right? Okay. The time Pickett's not ready. I mean, he's hurt. Back spasms. Well, I guess we can call him up and just delay his start a couple of days. Yuck. All right, I mean, good news is that we've won 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games in a row. The bad news is that we've lost our 2 top pitchers. Cards streams for the DDS college basketball are always a hoot. Yeah, I've watched a handful of cards. I have a real tough time sitting through live streams just because I get pulled in 6 different directions by my kids. But yeah, I've sat through a handful of Chris's stuff or card stuff, and they're fun. Expansion draft for taking Robbie Ray. Yeah, you gotta love it when the expansion drafts when those expansion teams take your bad contracts. It's always a nice thing, right? So yeah, on my channel, so we won again. So we've currently won, and we're first place. Was that 14 games in a row? We're on a 14-game winning streak. So on my YouTube channel, there tends to be a little more variety. Like I do, well, not primarily, all I've ever done. No, it's not true. I did some Draft Day Sports Pro Football on the GM Games YouTube channel. Just nothing live. So you can go back, Goofy, to their YouTube channel if you want. There's some stuff on there, but nothing live. 13-game winning streak, taking over the lead in the National League West. We walked this one off in 11. DeMar Johnson, a couple of hits. Haggers, who was our Rule 5 guy, had a couple of hits. He's not really hitting. That's why we have him, is to hit. So hopefully he turns. Hits 2 home runs, though. He hits 2. Rincon homers. Paulino homers. And the bullpen, pretty sharp. Good numbers out of the bullpen. So we got one more day until we get to July. If you like the DDS games, Chris's College Basketball Jam is one of the most fun leagues. Yeah, Chris asked me if I wanted to be a part of that, and I just, I feel bad jumping into an online league and just not having the time to dedicate to it that I would like. So I said no, unfortunately, but I'm also not very good at it. I'm also not very good at the college basketball game, so that's the other reason. But all right, so Molina drops a little bit. The current and potential movement drop, that's not great. Romero, who was supposed to be our next young pitcher, hasn't really developed. Cesar Gutierrez got better. Great. Juan Lopez got better. Okay. It's international free agency. We'll take a look at that in a second. You're up to 102 teams, really? Wow. 102 human teams. Yeah, I was going to take over the University of New Hampshire because it's my alma mater, but I ended up just backing up. Maybe down the road, I'm in 3 out of the park baseball online leagues, and it's just so much. Part of it is I'm exhausted right now, but it's been a lot. So Brendan Rodgers, the AL Batter of the Month. Vlad Jr. of the Dodgers is the NL Batter of the Month. Mario Ruiz is your AL Pitcher of the Month. Bobby Miller, it's Pitcher Month in the NL. Ruiz is your Rookie of the Month. And Jaden Yates, the Pitcher of the Month in the National League. Wow. He's a 5th-round pick. That's why I love out-of-the-park baseball. This right here is why I love out-of-the-park baseball. You don't get the variability out of the draft like you do in out-of-the-park with any other game. Really any other game, any other sport. Yeah, Josh, he signed with the Dodgers this past offseason. Oh, God, my nose is making me nuts. All right, so who do we want to make a run at? We got Adri De Bruin, 16-year-old outfielder, high work ethic, good defensively. I mean, he can play center field. Montañez, he looks okay. He's just a bat. Bernal looks okay. Madrid looks, I think Bruin is the obvious choice here. Let's get Rick Gomez. He looks okay. Yeah, Bruin is the obvious choice. Hopefully he wants to come play in the Diamondbacks system. For me, it's a social engagement. Man, I would agree with that if we didn't have what we experienced today in one of our leagues. That stuff that went on in one of our leagues today. That's the stuff that makes me just go, I don't want to do this. Like it's bad social engagement. But generally speaking, yeah, it's fun to talk with new people about things that you have in common, and it all starts with a video game. But I hear you. All right, we got to delete these emails unless we missed something. What do we got here? Savino wants to come back. I know you do, but I can't bring you back right now, my friend, as much as I would want to. All right. At Chicago. It's not what you meant. You meant why you don't have time for CBGM. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy the social interaction portion of the online leagues. I mean, I tend to be a very... It's weird. My real job, my full-time job, forces me to talk for a living. I spend most of my day on the telephone. My side hustle, the broadcasting gig, forces me to talk to people. This forces me to talk to people, but in real life, I'm a pretty, I'm a homebody. Like, I went to my brother-in-law's house for a party today. I stayed for 2.5 hours, and I told my wife I had to leave. I don't like being in crowds. So I'm by no means a social butterfly, but all the stuff that I do to make money and try to live requires me to be open and social and talk to people. But I guess it's different doing it this way, right? Talking to people here, because you guys aren't sitting here in front of me. It's you could be flipping me off or making faces at me or talking behind my back, and I have no idea. So it's different, but yeah, I don't know. Sir Anthony Dominguez for Jim Philpott. No, thank you. We win again. That's 14 straight wins. Brown with 3 hits. Paulino with 2. Lujan with 2. Lawler with 2. Lujan and Brown homer. Shabazz pitches well. Bummer pitches well. But yeah, that conversation in our online league today was just... I was just reading it, shaking my head, going, these two need to just get a room, either fight or, F and call it a day, because it's just boring at this point. Can we get 15 in a row? We do. 15 wins in a row for your Arizona Diamondbacks. We are on fire. Julio Lujan, 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. Paulino, 3 hits, 3 RBIs for Buxton. Miles Jansen with another victory. We get Pena back in 16 days. Or we get him back in, we'll get him back in 16 days. Any notes from, nope, we're still waiting on the signing of our free agent. Hopefully we don't get a notification email, because that means he doesn't want to sign with us. If we don't get a notification email, nice. Adri Day Bruin is your newest Arizona Diamondback prospect. Let's request a scouting report on him. How does Out of the Park online leagues work? Does everyone have to sit down and play at the same time? No. So, most of the leagues I'm in do 4 sims a week. They sim on generally Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think we have one that's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, or something. But they sim 4 days a week. So what happens is, the game advances a week. On Monday, you download the file, and then you have until Wednesday to make any roster changes or lineup changes or anything like that. You upload your new file, and then on Wednesday they run another week. And then you have until Friday to make any changes, any lineup changes, anything like that. You don't actually play the games. You're setting your lineups. You're making trades with the other GMs, and then the commissioner will run the league, is basically how it works. It's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of interesting people. You meet a lot of uninteresting people, but I've enjoyed it. Random Task was actually the one who got me involved in all in 2 of the 3 that I'm in, and then I got him into the 3rd one that I'm in. It's fun. It's not a super time sink. I mean, you can spend as much or as little time as you want. Yeah, no, Josh, you don't. You can spend as much or as little time as you want on it. I mean, we have people like right now with work being as busy as it is for me. All I have time to do is really log in, make sure I don't have any like major injury issues that I have to deal with, and if I don't, I just export and I don't worry about it. When I have more time, I can go through my minor leagues and, move people around, and I can shift my lineup and that sort of thing. But, yeah, you can spend as little or as much time on it as you want, for sure. You love it when people have the same argument. Yeah, right? I've been in that league now for like 3 months. No, maybe more than that, like 6 months now. And I've seen that same argument between those two people at least 2 or 3 times now. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but you can spend as much. Yeah, 15 minutes. Yeah, that's fair. Just to make sure that you don't have anybody injured, or if you have somebody who's really struggling, you can move them down in the lineup. It takes almost no time at all. You do meet a lot of uninteresting people. Random task. I'm not wrong in that. You meet a lot of people that are just want to play the game and they don't want to have any sort of like real human interaction at all. And that's fine. But yeah, that's the reality. Oh, we lose. We finally lose a game, and it's an extra innings. The walk-off. Nate Savino gets the loss. Come on, man. We had won 15 games in a row. Yeah, your mama Goofy, you're right. Some GMs just run auto setup and call it good. So, yeah, human interaction's not a good thing. But see, this type of human interaction is different. It's like if there was a Twitter for just baseball, like you get some of the same nonsense that you get in social media where people get, they're keyboard warriors and they get, braver online than they would be in real life. And like, that's the shit that's just, like I have no interest in that. But generally speaking, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So we break our 1-game losing streak and we win this one. We're 60-29. Marin 8-2 now on the season. Only throws 80 pitches in 8 innings. Final game going into the All-Star game is another loss, another extra inning loss. And again, Savino blows the save. Bummer gives up 2 runs. This is disappointing. Our starting pitching is so good. All right. All-Star game. Who made the All-Star game from the Diamondbacks? Really, none of our starting pitchers made the All-Star team, huh? Okay. If you say so. Fitz Stadler made it, though, with his 5-3 and 4.69 ERA. Fitz Stadler made it. Guy Garibay made it. Tamar Johnson made it. Paulino made it. So we had 4 All-Stars. Paulino, Garibay, Tamar Johnson, Fitz Stadler all made the All-Star team. That's a bit of a surprise. 14-game winning streak. Yep. The Giants are 60-30. We are 60-30. So we won 15 out of 17 games, and we gained 5 games on them. That's okay. I'll take a 20-6 month any day of the week. But yeah, it'd be nice to get Pena back in the lineup. Lennon made 1 start, wasn't particularly good. But yeah, the rest of these guys, I mean, our pitching staff is back to where I expected. Starters ERA is 1st, bullpen is 3rd. We're 2nd in runs scored. So yeah, we're kind of back, so to speak. Who's this guy? Alistair Ya. This guy's a stud. I mean, assuming the changeup develops, but look at that. Adolfo Valdez. We got him at the beginning. Look at this guy we got back in April. Our scout's doing work, man. Doing work. Oh, man, my nose. There's got to be something in my office that's causing this, because, like, this doesn't happen when I'm not in my house or when I'm not up here in my office. All right, so we got the draft coming up. What do we want to do? I guess we can just sim up to the draft. And we got the Giants coming up before the draft, or during the draft, I guess. I love. Yeah, me too. And that was 2 this year. That was 2 really good pitchers this season. Oh, good. Pena is now uncertain date to return. Thought we might get him back soon, but doesn't appear that way. But yeah, big picture, Josh, the online leagues are fun. I mean, if you're interested, I don't know if any of our leagues have openings right now, but if you're interested, let me know. I can certainly probably get you into one of them if there's an opening. There might be. I don't know. I know in one of our leagues, our commissioner runs a team because there isn't anybody. But the other two, I think, are completely full. Does it? Does it have a few? BLM has a couple. I know the one that I know Alex runs the Rays because we don't have somebody for the Rays. But I don't know about the other teams. But yeah, if you're interested, Josh, let me know. You just give me your email address and I can Brewers and Rays too. Okay. Yeah, that league is like 40 years into the future though, so it doesn't have anybody that you would recognize. Oh, not true. Tristan Cassius is like 43 years old in that one and has like 900 career home runs or something. But yeah, that one's fun. That one's fun. I'm the Orioles in that one. Lost in the World Series last year, actually. So 11-1. That's our worst loss in like a month. Who started? Jansen and Meyer pitched in that one. All right, time for the draft. Cassius is insane. He is. Yeah, just hit me up on Discord and I'll talk to the commissioner when I'm done here. Yeah, I want to say he's like 43 years old now. He was drafted by the Marlins, played his entire career with the Marlins until last season, and he's got 850 home runs or something like that. It's absurd. All right, draft time. So obviously we're picking last. Let's just go right to. I don't even. I want to look at this, but I don't. Because we will miss out on somebody like Jaden Kimbrough. 848 ones will be 41 next season. Yeah, it's just crazy numbers. All right. So we've got, you got a catcher who can't field. Can't play anywhere else. Boy can hit. Yeah, and he signed him to a super cheap contract too in the Aussie. It was like a $6 million contract or something like that. It was ridiculous. All right, so we got a catcher who can't catch. We got Luis Ceja, who's meh. I don't like this profile that much. Tends to be high on the average, low on the on-base percentage, so you're, relying on bat quickness. Danny Renteria, same deal. Oscar Robinson. Decent bat. Left fielder with that range, if that. OSA doesn't like him very much. Hermano Scarlatti. That's a name. That is a name. Looks like a pretty good third baseman. Good arm. Decent enough range. Yeah, a lot of players with this type of profile. Oops, I didn't want to go there. I wanted to look at him. Yeah. Oh, is that the reason? Is that the reason, Random Task? I had no idea. Those are things I hadn't paid attention to at all. But I guess that makes sense, given how well he's played in his age 41 season. All right, so pitchers. We looked at Cortez James. He's not really a starter. A changeup will likely never develop. Andy wants $8 million. Josiah Baldwin. And I can't be super picky. This is the last pick of the first round, so, we're not going to get... Where's Hermano? What is that? I don't know what that means. Jerry Branch isn't bad. He wants a lot of money, but decent stamina, ground ball pitcher. Good stuff, good movement, good control. Sinker, curveball, and a splitter. He's fragile already. That's not good. I'm leaning towards Branch, but it's hard to pass this up. It's hard to pass up the bat of Charles Fane. Hermano also means brother in Spanish. Hold on, you're stuck in another 2-minute ad break. Okay. See, when I go to an ad break, I can still see the screen and I can see everything, so I can still see chat and the actual stream pop up. Yeah, it's hard to pass up on Fane. It really is. I mean, it's unlikely that his defensive ability will ever catch up, but I mean, he truly is a designated hitter, but that bat is really, really good. What do you guys think? Do we go with someone like Fane, or do we go with a pitcher? Like right now, I'm leaning between Fane and Branch. Those are the two players that I'm sort of leaning between here. You can see chat, but you're Chromecasting, so you can't hear me. Gotcha. Good. Now's my time to talk about you. So do we go with Fane or Branch? Branch, probably the safer pick, which, as a high school pitcher is saying something. Fane is an all-star bat with literally no position. Fane, yeah, and that's like I said. I mean, you get a bat like that, you find a place to put him. So Charles Fane it is. Second round. Is that pitcher still there? He is. Jerry Branch is still there. He wants $6 million. Do we have that much? We have an $8 million draft budget. We just spent 1.8 or something on Fane. So, I mean, we could sign him. That just means every signing we make beyond that is going to have to be 4 slot or less. This is Mary, he's 6'2". Yeah, but did you see his defensive ratings at first? What was I doing? They were non-existent. That was kind of the thing. Where is he? That's not what I wanted to do. I mean, literally non-existent. 30, 30, 30, 40. So, G Bravo 777. Thank you for the follow. I already missed Barry Random Task. I need season 4 to come out like yesterday. I need to know what happened. All right, so next pick. Chris, don't worry about Random Task. He just likes to complain. Don't sweat him. Josiah Baldwin. He's cheaper. Good, potentially really good control. He's obviously that changeup will never develop, but sinker, cutter, or fastball, cutter, forkball. Just sub. Yeah, you could do that too. That would get rid of the ads. Baldwin, 6'4", $175, good stamina. He's much cheaper than Branch is. I'll try to time it. I'll go get some coffee or something every 30 minutes or whatever. Branch or Beckett? Or Baldwin, excuse me. Beckett, his signability is hard, which means probably won't be able to afford him. I think I'm going to go Baldwin because he's a lefty. Throws a little bit harder. Pitches aren't quite as good, but good movement, good control. Josiah Baldwin, I guess, will be our second pick. There you go. That's what you need to do. And Branch is still there. I mean, we could take him, and then I think we take him here, and then we sign him to his demand, and then the other two guys we should be able to sign to their slot. Just means from here on out we can't sign anybody for more than slot, so we got to find someone who We got to find players at this point who are easy to sign. Rockaway Joe, thank you for the follow. We are at draft day in 2031. This is our 10th season with the Arizona Diamondbacks. We are back-to-back World Series champions, looking for a three-peat. We're half a game behind the Giants right now. Taking them on as we speak, actually. Got to get through the draft first, though. It's extremely hard. Bonus demand. Is there some place that, I don't think there's some place that tells you what the slot amount, does the draft pool tell you what the slot amount is? Or not the draft pool, but does this give you any of that information? Oh, it does. Look at that. Awesome. I didn't know that. Okay, so the slot amount for the 4th round pick. I had no idea. Random task. No idea at all. Yeah. It's good to know. So slot is 620. And Orphe wanted 700. I don't think we can do it. We just don't have the money. We need the players, unless we choose not to sign Branch, but I like Branch. Salvatore Soto. No. Sandoval, no. Not a lot of talent here. It was Bracey one. He wants 750, so we can't sign him. Can't sign him. All these guys want way too much money for that spot. Filter. Yeah, I guess you could do that too, right? Just, it's got to be here somewhere, right? Demand is at least... Can you type slot in there? Does that work? Yeah, that does work. You literally just type slot in there. It's interesting. That's good to know. I didn't know you could just type the word slot in there and it would find all the players for you. Interesting. All right, let's look at fielding ratings and see if we can find some decent infielders and outfielders. And in filter and miscellaneous, there's an option for slot. There is. What was I looking at? Fielding ratings, clear filter, customize. That's not what I wanted to look at. That's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go here. Miscellaneous info, salary demand. There we go. There we go. So that helps. That will help. Infield range. Rivera. He's a 21-year-old. Nope. Only has the range, but no arm. Ethan Ambrose. Not a lot of talent here. I'm not uber excited about any of these guys, really. He's not bad. See, but yeah, of course, his demand is more than I want to pay. Oscar Ventura, he's really, really good defensively. I don't know if the bat ever develops, but he's got the high loyalty, high work ethic. We'll see if that works. Let's go to individual pitch potential. No. I guess we can just come in here and do it again. I know I could save it, but I can't be bothered. So just do it this way. Pitchers. 21, good fastball. Slider, that changeup will never develop, so never mind. We'll do this for Josh. We'll look for knuckleballers. No knuckleballers, Josh. Sorry. Knuckle curve. Sergio Ventura. No knuckleballers, Josh. What do we got here? That's the screwball. Circle change. No, I mean, I wouldn't. These guys want more than I can give. Jose Chacon, no. A forkball. Yep, the forkball. Eddie Weymouth. Look at all the pitches this guy has. Fastball, cutter, curveball, slider, changeup, forkball. What's his slot amount? He wants 280. What's the slot amount? Draft order. What round are we in? The 5th? We're in the 5th, so we could sign him. Yeah, we could sign him. Circle changes the meta pitch. Yeah, but nobody, like... I mean, he's good, but I can't... I mean, it says he wants slot. But here it says he wants 750. Now, which is it? I should be drafting for memes. Is that what I should be doing at this point? Meme drafting. It's not how you win back-to-back World Series championships, by drafting for meme names. Random task. Oh wow. Okay. Again, he wants $750,000. Try it. All right, we'll see. I mean, I don't know how you... I mean, you can't filter for meme-ish names, though. That's the problem. I literally gotta, like, filter... I gotta, like, sort through everything. And I don't even know what a meme name is. You're gonna have to tell me. You're the meme expert. Marketable meme drafting. You try to make your money off of memeing your players. Here you go. Petri Salimi. He's from Oklahoma, apparently. Is this what we're talking right here? Dick Pound. Yeah, well, if there was a Dick Pound in the draft, I would sign him, but I don't think there is. This is gonna take me forever if I try to draft by meme. You signed Fidel K. Well, he would be a distraction. Mike Ruiz. He's kind of a dick. I really don't want to spend hours like hunting for... I mean, we're only in the 6th round, though. That's the disappointing thing here, is we're only in the 6th round. Not a fantastic draft, so let's back out of this for a second. Petri Salami. Yeah, I could do that too. I want Orphe. I think I want Orphe, and I just want to make it work. Ali Orphe. Let me just make it work. You have name memeability factored in. Can you put memeability into the out of the park that website that allows you to like type in like their stats and stuff to get like, you know, how they're gonna hit and stuff? Can you put like, can you turn that into a meme? Or can you add their name into that? Javi Lopez. He wants slot. He's a 19-year-old. He's got some power. That works for me. Jordan Belmarez. Nah. Yes, the OOTP calculator. Those are the words I was looking for. Thank you for helping me get them out. Can you put memeability into the calculator? Kevin Mayo. I mean, that's sort of meme-ish. Like, you know, I mean, little Hellman's advertising going on there. effective fielding. It really just wasn't anything, and that was really disappointing. Ethan Ambrose is really that guy. Decent range on the infield, good range in the outfield, sure. Mayo is a memeable name. See, I'm learning. These are the things that I... Here, how about this guy? I mean, this is memeable, right? Bill Balboa? This Rockies kid? I mean, that's a memeable name. And he's 17 years old. So, Bill Balboa. So we get Mayo and Balboa in the last couple of rounds. I think that qualifies. Darius Allen. Good defense again, sure. Figure if I just load my minor leagues with players who can field, even if they can't hit, we won't be terrible. Marco Borge. That's a fun name. I'll take him. And I think I'm done. 12 picks is enough. I don't know how many of them we're going to be able to sign. We will find out. All right, so we have $10 million. So that's 6, 7, 8, 50. Yeah, we can sign all of them. Great. Perfect. Let's sign the import. Are there any that are over slot? So we got to sign Orphe. And everybody else is below slot, so we should be good. So after all that hemming and hawing, we can sign everybody we wanted. Of course, we don't have any money left now, but either way, we get everybody we want. That's been your strategy, but it's never worked. Draft good defenders and wait for the TCR. Yeah, right. That's kind of what I do, because you get to, the 8th, 9th round, and you can either draft somebody who is a below-average hitter and an average fielder, or you can draft somebody who is a bad hitter and a very good fielder and just hope. And that's what I choose to do. I choose the bad hitters and very good fielders and just hope. All right, so we got Lennon going here against the Giants, which is not a great thing. I want to get through this Giants series, and then we'll figure out trade deadline stuff. I think we're going to need a pitcher, given that we're still... Yeah, that's 2 straight losses, given that we're down our 2 top pitchers. We bounce back there with a 6-4 win. Paulino has 4 hits. Arias has 3. Lujan and Paulino each homer. Bullpen does an okay job. See if we can split and jump back into the lead in the NL West. Nope, we're a game and a half out. Never seen TCR have a big impact. Yeah, I've only ever seen TCR affect the hitting ratings or, obviously significant pitcher jumps, but I've never seen anything defensively. All right, so, I mean, we're going to make the playoffs, right? We're 16 games up in the wild card. I would rather not have to go through the wild card nonsense again. I think we need a veteran starter, because right now we're running with 4 rookies and Miles Jansen in our rotation. Well, how do we do that? Like, what's the easiest way to find a starting pitcher that we can afford? What do we got for starters? Brent Hedrick, but he's out for 3 months. Walker Buehler, but I believe he has a no trade clause. He doesn't. He's 36. He spent a year in college. He's been bad. The last couple of years have not been kind to Mr. Buehler. But that's an option. That is an option. I'm not obviously giving up Marin or Paulino. Garcia, he's out for 6 weeks. Jorge Morla, $10 million. I need somebody who's fairly cheap, because we've got $498,000. So we would need somebody to either retain the entirety of the contract or like Bukowskis. He only has 40 stamina, but 3 really good pitches. I mean, he definitely would be an upgrade over, what's his name, Lennon. If I asked you to retain, really, there's I don't have anything that can make this work. Nothing, really. Okay, so I do have something that'll make it work. You're just being stupid. Flores was our second round pick. If I give you cash the other way, does that change things at all? Problem is, if I submit this, they're going to come back to me and say, well, you don't have anything that we want that'll make this work, or whatever it is they say. But we'll submit it and see what happens, but that's likely what they're going to say. So do we have any salary that we can shed in order to bring somebody back? I mean, not really. And we could always try Valadez Acuna again, but he was really bad to start the season. Yeah, I can't really part with any of this. I mean, Stadler would make the most sense. Really? Nothing, huh? It's interesting. That is interesting. Sadler, was that his name? Who did he play for? Is it St. Louis? Is that the trade that I had up before? Paying a relief pitcher that much is asking for trouble. Yeah, I know, but you love memes, and that was sort of a meme-ish sign. We signed him for the 3rd straight off season. But he had been worth it. I mean, he put up like a 4-win season and a 3-win season for us. Would it be impending? Frias, here it is. What? He doesn't have a no-trade clause. He didn't at the beginning of the season. Apparently, he was willing to... Apparently, I gave him a no-trade clause. Gorgo, thank you. Appreciate that. You have a good night as well, my friend. Thanks for coming in. Apparently, I gave him a no-trade clause. That shows you how much I was paying attention. So we just have to hope that he doesn't suck the rest of the year. Paulino, Stadler. Yeah, I can't really... And Bummer's not going to get us anything, given that he's 37 years old. You live, you learn. Yeah. I've been playing the game for so long, and I still don't notice that stuff. You know, I still don't notice it. All right, well, let's go back. I want to see something. Let's go to here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's remove Stadler. Okay. Johnson, Molina, and Shabazz. All right. What about now? Just Molina. No, I am not kidding. That would be over budget. What if I gave you cash? Oh, right. Okay. Oops. We need more more than what I've offered. Johnson, Molina, Shabazz. No, thank you. What about if we offer up Toro? That's all garbage. That doesn't do me any good. Last two are straight meme trades. I don't know that there's a better option out there for us right now that we can afford. We're kind of cash strapped this year. Kind of cash strapped. Yeah, almost. All right. Okay. You want 34-year-old Nick Madrigal? You can have him if that's going to complete this deal. Yes, we have Nick Madrigal in our minor league system. And this is why we have Nick Madrigal in our minor league system. We went 13-3, so that's a nice bounce back. Paulino 3 for 4, 4 RBIs. He and Brown each homer. Marin picks up the win. Back to Miles Jansen. We still don't know when we're getting Pena back. Lechuga is a meme name. Isn't that milk? Doesn't that mean milk? Josh, this is probably going until, well, this is going to sound dumb, but it's going until the end. Like, I think we did 15 years with the Rockies, but they were also slower. Like, I didn't, Lechuga's lettuce. Okay. I didn't sim quite as fast in the Rockies playthrough. So 15 years took us to, like, I don't know, November or something like that. Leche is milk. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So we lose 6-3. Still a half a game out of first place. Still waiting on the Pirates to get back to us with this offer. Gabriel Arias wants to resign. I would love to resign you, but I can't afford it. So we're going to look a little different next year. So we're going for this three-peat. I mean, we're going for this three-peat because we're going to need a shortstop. We're going to need a center fielder. We're going to need some bullpen help. So we are going to look different next year. So we may as well go all in here this year. Leche, and Lechuga. I knew I was close. All right, so they accepted this deal. So we're going to send 22-year-old Chris McRae and Nick Madrigal to the Pirates. And we're going to get J.B. Bukauskas back. Extreme ground ball, 3 great pitches, good stuff, good movement. I think he could be he's pitched pretty well for them this year. Move him into our rotation. Lennon can go down to AAA. Bring Bukauskas up, stick him in the rotation. So I think that's an upgrade. Once we get Pena back, Jansen can go back to the bullpen. And I think we are in decent shape there. Do we need? I mean, you know, what do you get the team that has everything, right? I mean, that's kind of where we are. You know, maybe another bullpen arm, but who does it replace? You know, again, because the 2 highest ERAs in our bullpen are our 2 best relievers in theory. An argument could be made to go after a center fielder with some offensive chops for the inevitable Byron Buxton injury. I mean, he's on pace to play 150 games this year. I don't suspect that's going to happen. Morales has hit really well. I mean, he could play center field if we need him to. So yeah, I don't know that there's a whole lot that we need. You always need more pitching. Yeah, but I guess if we find a pitcher that's pitching better than some of the other pitchers we have, like, what do we need? Bo Bichette and Wander Franco. Okay. Marconi making $11 million. Stone's making 13. 9.7. These guys are all making bonkers money. 3.1. He's been okay. Devin Williams. Good stuff, good movement. It's a lefty. Actually better against righties. We get someone like Danny Wilkinson. Who does he replace? I mean, some of these guys haven't pitched much. Fisher's only pitched 18 innings this year. I mean, yeah, he would easily replace someone like Fisher. Solamiso, thank you for the follow. So let's talk about Danny Wilkinson. Need you to retain because we don't have any money left. And, okay, so it looks like we can get it done for a reasonable return. You want one of these guys? You want Nick Hamilton? Just want to see how much. DeLucas, Jones, man, none of those players I'm willing to part with. What about Kyle Lewis is no good. What about Palacios? Just looking to see if any of these like 2.5-star guys that I picked up as a minor league free agent is enough to get it done. Because I got a bunch of them. All right, let's go to prospects. Fane signed. That's nice. We will disable. Baldwin signed. We will disable. Lopez. Dominguez is never going to hit enough. I get hung up on these guys with great defense who don't hit enough and try to force them into my lineup, and it never works. All right, let's try this. Let's see what they say. Game 2 against the Phillies. Almost. All right, so those are all players I don't really want to part with. Lopez, I wouldn't really. He's got a good bat, but scouts have serious concerns about his makeup. All right, so let's add Juan Lopez. I don't need a douche on my team. Let's bump this up as much as we can. All right, so his response didn't change, so let's try that. Hamilton, Dominguez, and Juan Lopez for Danny Wilkinson. See if we can add another piece to our pen. We win 7-2. We're back in first place. 2 hits and an RBI for Scales, Arias, Garibay, Brown 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Kauskis in his first start, 7 2/3 of 2-run ball. Still waiting to get Pena back. We lose to Colorado 6-3. That's a bad loss. That's not a very good Colorado team, but we're still in first place. Get an answer yet? Nope, no answer yet. Still no, wait. Oh, it hasn't simmed ahead a day yet, right. Okay, we're still on the same day. 110 pitches. Yeah, that's right. Send him out there until his arm falls off. All right, so they've accepted this deal, so we're going to send Nick Hamilton, Juan Dominguez, and Juan Lopez to the Royals, getting Danny Wilkinson. They will retain the entirety of the contract. So that means we can send down Hugh Fisher, call Wilkinson up. I'm just going to let the AI set up my minor league system. Wilkinson was better against righties than he is lefties, right? So using him as a using him as a specialist is okay, but let's use him as a specialist and a middle reliever. Stumpo, let's back this off to normal usage. Middle relief and setup for Bummer. More proof that stamina isn't that big a deal. Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. So we've alternated wins and losses every day for the last week. But we are in first place, so that's really all that matters. Garibay goes 0 for 1 with 4 walks. Byron Buxton has a 4 for 5 game. Lawler 2 for 4. Brown and Buxton each homer. Molina has not pitched great this season. I mean, still a rookie. BABIP's a little high. On pace for almost 300 strikeouts and 170 innings. So I guess I can't really complain. But I would love to get Pena back here at some point in the relative near future. God, Feliz being out for 12 months is that just kills me. Just kills me. Probably get through the San Francisco series and see if maybe we can add another reliever. Hey, there is Pena. That's what I like to see. All right. But it comes off a loss. So again, win-loss, 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 win-loss. So this month we're a 500 team. Under 500. 7-8. All right. Who gets... Brown is going to get sent down again. So we're going to bounce him around a bunch. Injury list. Pena comes back up. Lechuga is also ready. So we can send... Who do we send down? Morales? I mean, he's hitting 350. But I think he's the one that gets sent down, right? Scales is the better defensive play. Yeah, right now Morales goes to the minors. And Lechuga comes up. Pitching, Pena comes back in for Jansen. Jansen goes back in as a middle reliever. Lechuga comes in. No, he's my backup. Right. When we are fully healthy, he is my backup outfielder. Rincon is not coming in every second game still. He is going to be my backup there. And why is... I got Hager's playing every 7th game against lefties. And, yeah, that's got to be bumped up. I got to get Hager's some more playing time so Melendez isn't tired all the time. Do I have the new 5-option year rule enabled? I don't even know what that means, so I'm going to say no. See how the series ends against Colorado. 7-6 win. 2 in the 9th. Garibay with 3 RBIs. Lujan 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Pena in his first start back gives up 5 and 5 1/3. Enabled by default. What is it? Where would I even go to look? Here, maximum number of options in a season. Looks like that's what the I just had that set to whatever the default was. Oh, yeah, right. That's what that was. All right, so we had a 4-game series. We're, again, half a game behind San Francisco. That's where we were the last time we played them. So let's see what happens in this 4-game series in San Francisco. Game and a half out. Again, look at alternating wins and losses for the last 2 weeks. Garibay 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Melendez 2 hits. Shabazz picks up his 9th. More alternating wins and losses. Can we win this one? No. 9 and 11 in the month of July. Not particularly good. Any more relievers we can pick up that aren't uber expensive? Devin Williams was making 5. Can we get Devin Williams? We can. What's it going to take? Toro? Oh, he signed to a 2-year deal. Okay, so if we just give them one of these minor leaguers here, you can have him. And if I can get Devin Williams for almost nothing... What if I take Toro out? Just wanted to see. All right. I mean, I'm fine giving up Toro. He's got a couple of good pitches, but bad movement. And I think we have enough starters in our system to make that work. So we get them to retain 85%. That means we get Devin Williams for $800,000 for next season, which is a nice replacement if we're not able to re-sign Stadler. So let's go ahead and make that deal. All right, so we pick up Devin Williams, add another bullpen piece. Jaramillo will go down to AAA. And Devin Williams will come up, and he will become a middle reliever. Miles Jansen will go to long relief. Okay. So we're 2.5 games out of first place. Got 4 or 5 games left this month. All at home. There's a 4-3 win. Tamar Johnson, 2 hits. Buxton, 2 hits, 2 runs knocked in. Pena goes 6, striking out 10. Stadler, his ERA is up over 5 now. Savino gets the win. Game 2 against the Dodgers. They got Corbin Burns on the mound. A 9-5 win. So we alternate wins and losses for 2 weeks. Then we lose 2 games in a row. And then we win 2 games in a row. So you're just alternating. Garibay 2 for 4. 3 RBIs. He's had a not disappointing season. I mean, actually, I guess he hasn't. I guess the numbers are light just because he missed so much time. But, I mean, really everything is right on par compared to last season. He just isn't playing. He just didn't play as much. Garibay having a good year. Johnson, 3 more hits. Bukowskis again. Throws 115 pitches this time. As we look for the sweep of the Dodgers. And we get it. This has been a weird episode. We were a 500 team essentially in May. Then in June, we had that 15-game winning streak. And then in July, we've been a 500 team again. No. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I guess. So Haggers with a couple RBIs. Tamar Johnson, 3 more hits. Shabazz is now 10-4. Strikes out 12 in 5 2/3 innings. Other than Feliz, we're healthy. You know, I mean, that's obviously a big other. You know, losing Feliz sucks, but J.C. Flowers and Jacob Shakes for John Robinson. I mean, the deal's probably fair, but I don't really have a need for it, so we're just going to go ahead and call it. All right, so we're half a game out of first place. We got 2 games left in the episode. Let's see if we can end up in first place. We need to beat the Tigers here on the 30th, the 29th and 30th. Game 1 is a 9-2 win, so that's 4 straight. We're still half a game out of first place. Paulino with his 25th home run. Lujan 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. He homers twice. Scales with a pinch hit single. Molina, 13 strikeouts, and that's what I like to see. Devin Williams coming in, striking out 5 2 1/3 innings. And it is the trade deadline. I mean, we added Danny Wilkinson and Devin Williams to our bullpen. We added J.B. Bukowskis to our rotation. As long as the offense stays healthy, I think we can get by with this. Obviously, not having Feliz for the postseason is going to suck. Hopefully the injury doesn't sap him, as his contract is pretty rough here over the next 5 seasons. But, yeah, things are looking okay. Let's sim our last game of the month, our last game of the episode. 8-0 win. So we're going to end on a high note. 5 straight victories. Tamar Johnson, 2 for 4. Paulino, 2 for 5. Lawler and Arias each with a couple of hits. Marin picks up his 10th win of the year with 10 more strikeouts. Still a half a game out of first place as the Giants just keep winning. We are not playing today, so we can sim to August 1st. First in runs scored, second in runs against. Still a half game out of first place. All right, so Stumpo gets a little worse. Savino gets a little worse. Marin gets better. Oh my God, he looks good. He's gonna be an absolute animal for years. Lawler's contact drops, but he's still having a really good season. Pickett, unfortunately, looks like a bust. I was aiming for that high floor, low ceiling kind of guy. It didn't work out. Zamora gets better. He's hitting the ball really, really well in Double-A. He'll stay there till the end of the season. Baldwin was one of our top picks this year. He just got better. He gotten up to had a couple of good starts here. Batter of the month in the AL, Dwight Vader. That is a name. Dwight Vader. In the NL, Tatis. Pitcher of the month in the AL, Manuel De Jesus. Edgar Gomez in the National League. Rookie of the month in the AL, Sal Jimenez. And in the NL, Ilario Gamassi. Man, some of these names. Ilario Gamassi. That is a name. All right, let's take a look at our stats. Actually, I want to look at how some of these guys are doing. So 379 for Fane out of the chute, 11 for 29, 10 RBIs in 10 games. Baldwin was our second pick. We've already looked at him. Our third pick was another pitcher. Where is he? Branch. Getting hit kind of, but he's not really pitching all that much. Pitched well here in his second start. All right. Look at all these guys. Look at all these five-star guys. Look at all these pitchers. More pitchers than we know what to do with. Pitching, again, Ettore Marin, 22-year-old, has been our best pitcher this year, 4.2 WAR. Well, I don't know if he... Oh, yeah, look at his FIP. 2.70 FIP, 3.26 ERA, 173 Ks, and just an absolute metric ton of strikeouts from this pitching staff. This is crazy. Robinson Pena, 8-4, back from injury now. Only 94 hits in 138 innings. We don't give up any hits. We don't give up a ton of home runs. Only Molina's giving up more than 1 per 9. We walk a few too many, and we strike like everyone and their mother out. So our pitching staff is pretty dynamic. Even Stadler, who is the only one with a below-average ERA plus, put up a 3.22 FIP, and he's been good for 1.1 WAR. His BABIP is and again, I said this at the beginning. I mean, at some point, this is the year that he's having it. You can't chalk it up to BABIP or ERA or whatever. So because of that, we're going to make him... do I want to leave him there? Yeah, I mean, I guess leaving him there is fine. I mean, I may change it down the stretch if Williams continues to pitch well or something, but Savino has turned it around. He's having a nice year for us. 26 saves, 64 Ks in 49 innings. Offensively, Tamar Johnson at 5 WAR right now. He's on the other side. He's got a 4.47 BABIP, which, again, you would think is not sustainable, but he's been sustaining it all year. He's on pace for 7 wins. Jandel Paulino on pace for another 30 home run season for us. Garabay's bounced back after a bit of a down season last year. He's on pace for 3.5 WAR, again over 400 on base percentage. Jordan Lawler with another good season at third base. And he's eminently replaceable, but his contract is still, he probably opts out of this next season, given that he's had back-to-back 3-win seasons. So he probably opts out of it. So we're probably looking for a new third baseman next year as well. So we're going to be down third base, center field, and shortstop going into next season. So that's something we're going to have to keep in mind. Lujan is just doing Lujan things. Melendez has been fine. I mean, it hasn't been as good as what we were getting out of Patrick Bailey last season, but he's been fine. Brown, low WAR because he doesn't play in the field at all, but, no problem with what he's doing offensively. So all in all, I think we're fine. I think we'd be in much better shape, obviously, if we had Feliz out there, but, what are you going to do? So, I think that's going to do it, guys. I think I'm going to call it here. I'm going to go get ready to go see some fireworks tonight. Have the next video out on Wednesday, which will likely be September and the postseason, and potentially the off-season. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, a bit of a shorter stream tonight, given that it's the 4th of July. So or almost 4th of July. So I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, whatever it is you're doing tonight. I hope you have a great, for those of you in America that are celebrating Independence Day tomorrow, I hope you have a great 4th of July. If it is just Monday, like it is for Josh, I hope you enjoy your Monday. I hope your work day is not too bad. And then just as a reminder, be on the lookout tomorrow on my YouTube channel for a brand new Episode 1 Let's Play with the Washington Nationals. Episode 1 is done and recorded. I'll have that up sometime tomorrow morning, so keep an eye out for that. And that's going to do it. So, guys, have a great rest of your evening, and I will talk to everybody on Wednesday. See ya. Bye.